So I weighed 210 kilos at my heaviest. I wasn't in a good place, physically or mentally. You know, sometimes we forget about the mental side of it. You know, we focus on the way we look, you know, but the mental side of it is just as important. If you know how you feel is just as important as the way you look. To be honest, I think the way you feel is more important. You know, because that's when you wake up, are you happy? When you go to sleep, are you happy? You know, here I wasn't. You know, my background, I don't use it as an excuse, I use it to motivate me. My father was the president of the Auckland chapter of the Mongrel Mob. Obviously, childhood definitely wasn't normal. And it's basically, you know, I came up in a pretty tough childhood. He was imprisoned when I was 5. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison for armed robbery. You know, you know, a lot of people parents have different trades. Well, my dad's trade was a bank robber. I studied and trained really hard. You know, and I again used the motivation of where I come from not as an excuse. And you know, I went to uni, and also these photos here of me playing rugby league. I played rugby league all over the world. League didn't go to plan. I managed to play semi-professional, but could never crack NRL. Ended up having 9 knee operations, and got into supermarkets. Got into working really hard, and here I started putting, like a lot of us, you know, started putting my health second. It's funny because I was always proud about the way I looked. I was always athletic, but then when I started working really hard and stopped training and started eating rubbish and drinking a lot of energy drinks just to keep going, I stopped weighing myself. I wasn't looking in the mirror. And it just, you know, all of a sudden I'm having to buy bigger clothes. I didn't think about it, but then I really didn't think about it. I remember I was at a hotel that I was staying in, and I had a scale, and I jumped on a scale, and it was almost 200 kilos. It was amazing that they even had a scale at a hotel that weighed that much. I couldn't believe it. And when I think about it now, it was like a sign, because I jumped and I said, man, that was the first time I think, man, I've really let myself go here. This is disgraceful. And I had a bath, and you know, again, the mental side of it, you know, I was literally thinking about, so I should just drown in here. You know, it really hit me that night. And only maybe a year or so after this photo, I'd ended up losing everything. You know, lost the businesses, lost all of my money, and more importantly, I lost my family. Health down the drain, 210 kilos. I moved back to New Zealand, and I was staying. I remember it so clearly because I was just staying on this single bed. It was my youngest sister. I was staying on her daughter's, just a spare bed. The single bed I couldn't fit on it, and I remember I was staring at the roof on this bed, and I think, man, this can't be it. You know, this can't be my life. Really depressed, crying all the time, missing my kids, and I just hated my life. I couldn't believe the situation I found myself in. Going from nothing to having a lot to back to nothing again was really humbling. I didn't know what I was going to do. And Dave Higgins offered me, a bit of a lifeline. Well, not a bit of a lifeline, it was a lifeline. Let's throw you in the boxing ring. And you know, as a goal, as something to train for, just to help me to lose some weight, you know, and give me something, a purpose. And I jumped at the chance, and I trained really hard. And at the time, you know, I'd gotten off this single bed and just started walking day and night. I'd walk twice a day, every day. This was my first fight. I weighed in at 168 kilos, and I thought I was looking really good. And then I saw the guy I was fighting, and he looked awesome. He was fit, he was strong, and I looked up on the big screen when I entered the ring, and I'll never forget it. I said, man, obviously here, everything's still hanging out, and I thought, I still got some work to do. But I got a bit of hate. I got a bit of hate for the way I carried on, but each fight I was losing weight, and people were starting asking me, how are you doing this? What's the secret? Everyone wants to know the secret. They all want to know what the secret is. And I would tell them, well, if you show up here, I'll show you what the secret is. Hard work. Then I talk to them about nutrition, which is that's the secret, really. Good nutrition. So I started a group called Butterbean Motivation to start directing people that were asking me about my journey, the fitness and the healthy lifestyle part of it, nothing to do with the boxing. Publicly I had to behave a certain way. I was playing a character. In this group I could be myself, and it was really mentoring people with everything that I've learnt and being with them on their journey. Because a lot of the times people I find didn't have the positive people around them. So that's why I created the group BBM, so that we could always be surrounded by positivity. And really the group, from one person to such an amazing movement, and what we do, the reason why it's successful is because what we do works, right? Everything I teach has come from my experience, and I know it works because it's worked on me, and it works on so many others. So I'm giving people the tools that they need to be able to live a healthy lifestyle forever. Because it's not about a challenge, that once the challenge is finished, you just go back to your old way of living. What this is giving people, it's like taking them through a course where you're giving them the tools, or I give them the tools to be able to maintain it, And if people do fall off the wagon, which we all do because no one's perfect, they're able to use the toolkit to come back on track. I want to help as many people as possible, and it's not the weight loss. I just want to help people get their lives back together, and normal, from my own experience, obesity and depression, it all comes from something. So we find that when we fix it, we start living a healthy lifestyle, everything else falls into place. And that's my goal, just for it to be everywhere and to help as many people as possible. To be able to help one person change their life is amazing, but when you are able to do that for thousands is an unreal feeling, and that's my motivation every day. I wake up, I think of my family, and then I think of others, and I think of, I'm helping one person, I'm not just helping them, I'm helping their family, so for me today is someone that's really content and driven to help as many people as possible.